In the silence of the night, when the world sleeps, a lone wolf howls at the moon. Its cry echoes through the forest, a solitary voice in the vast wilderness. This wolf, standing alone, embodies strength, resilience, and indomitable spirit of independence. Have you ever felt like that lone wolf? Standing apart from the pack, charting your own course through life's dense forest. There is a profound power in solitude, a strength that can only be forged in the crucible of isolation. It's a power that's shaped the destinies of great individuals throughout history. Those who dared to walk alone and change the world in their way. Consider the artists who spent countless hours in their studio, wrestling with their vision, translating the depths of their soul onto the canvas. Or is it the scientist burning the midnight oil in a lonely laboratory pursuing a breakthrough that could revolutionize human understanding? These solitary figures, like lone wolves, howl their truths into the void, often unheard of, for decades or even a lifetime. But their isolation is not a weakness, it's their source of power. In the quiet moments of solitude, we find ourselves stripped bare of pretense and expectation. We are forced to confront our true natures, our deepest fears, and our highest aspirations. It's in these confrontations that we discover our authentic voice, our unique perspective that no one else in the world can offer. Think of the great leaders and visionaries who have shaped our world. They didn't conform to the expectations of their time. They didn't follow the well-trodden path. Instead, they chose to walk alone, to tread new trails through uncharted territories of thought and action. The crowd, for all its comforting warmth, can also be a stifling force. It can dull our edges, smooth out our unique contours until we become indistinguishable from the map. But the lone wolf standing apart retains its sharp senses, its keen instincts, its ability to see what others miss. We humans are social creatures, and there is value in connections and community. But there is a difference between being part of a community and losing yourself in a crowd. The courage to stand apart, to walk alone when necessary, is what separates leaders from followers, innovators from imitators, the extraordinary from the ordinary. Consider the moments in your life when you felt most alive, most authentically yourself. Were they moments when you were following the crowd, or when you were standing alone, guided by your own inner compass? Solitude offers us the space to hear our own thoughts, to listen to the whispers of our intuition, often drowned out by the cacophony of other voices. It gives us the opportunity to develop our own ideas, free from the immediate influence or judgment of others. But make no mistake, this part of solitude is not an easy one. It requires courage to stand apart, to face the uncertainty of uncharted territory. It demands resilience to weather the storms of doubt and criticism that inevitably comes when you choose a different path. You may face ridicule from people who don't understand your vision. You may encounter resistance from people comfortable with the status quo. You may even experience moments of crippling self-doubt, questioning whether your solitary path is worth the struggle. But remember, every great achievement in human history started with a single individual daring to think differently, to stand alone against the tide of conventional wisdom. The Wright brothers were ridiculed for believing humans could fly. Galileo was persecuted for challenging the accepted view of the universe. Van Gogh's genius went unrecognized in his lifetime. Yet, these solitary individuals changed the course of human history. Their stories teach us that the road less traveled, while challenging, can lead to extraordinary destinations. Once upon a time, a people heard the voice of one crying in the wilderness, saying, "Prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight." And they didn't listen. It was a lone voice heralding the beginning of the journey of one who had been incubating himself in solitude. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came into his own, and his own didn't receive him. He continued in solitude because he was a man set apart, and the world was apart from him. His destination was the cross, and his mission was to reconcile mankind with their Maker. In solitude, he confronted the devil. In solitude, he marshaled his plans. In solitude, he fasted. And in solitude, he went to the cross. And over 2,000 years later, Jesus Christ still continues to draw men to him, all because he followed the road less traveled. Christ is the perfect example of one who is mission ready and mission focused. The enemy couldn't stop him. The crowd couldn't distract him. Betrayals didn't delay him. And the cross couldn't stop him. He beat it all for the joy that was beyond the cross. This should be a story at the end of this year. This should be our testimony at the end of this year. We beat it all because he went through the cross. In this new year, separate yourself from the crowd, incubate yourself in solitude, and emerge victorious at the other end. God bless you all.